How you guys feeling about going for a sled ride? We got another inch of snow last night, and we're going to need that right there. Chainsaw. I'm going to try to get the sled going, and we're going to hit the 90-acre trail. As you guys know, in the summer, you cannot get to the backside of that trail because of the first open swamp. It's wet, and the machine may sink, but if I get enough speed, the plan is, it's not frozen yet for sure, but if I can get enough speed, the plan is we're going to break through. Hopefully not break through, but break across. Gee, I gotta think about my wording here. We're gonna make it to the backside of the 90-acre trail, and we're gonna go explore. I'm bringing the chainsaw because there's no doubt gonna be trees down across the trail, and I don't feel like trying to muscle them out of the way. We're just gonna cut them and get them out of the way, and we're gonna check the fresh snow for any tracks, and it gets us into territory where nobody has been for months. Let's go do this. Okay, because I'm a fairly organized guy, the saw should be gassed and ready to go. And sharpened. Alright, saw is actually only half full, so we'll fill it up. I know I sharpened it, I remember that. Okay, good enough. I do not want to cut any more than one tank worth anyway. That's too much work. Oh, windy and cold out here today. All right, let's see. Been sitting here for months. Oh, nice snake skin. Hey! No! I gotta try to get this pallet out of here. Hey, that wasn't so bad. Actually idling pretty good considering that it's got last year's fuel in it. If you guys recall, my buddy Tim and I did about 4 hours work on this 2 winters ago. We only got to use the sled 1 day last year because we didn't have any snow, and we changed throttle position sensor controller in there, and we also played with the idle. We gave it more RPM and a new battery. So since then, I mean, it ran the best it's ever run. It's a 2018, and last season, the 1 day I got to drive it, I mean, it still sounds great right now, better than it did when I brought it home from the dealer. So maybe that sensor was the whole issue with it all along. I don't know, guys, but look at, there's no shake. I'll show you guys the windshield. You guys know that my #1 complaint with this machine was their poor idle setup and that shake. And since we did our adjustments, it's gone. Not completely, you can never completely get rid of it, but man, that is a million times better than it ever was before. Just barely enough snow. Another 3-4 inches would be perfect. We're gonna feel every stump and every log and every rock. You can see it's not frozen. Swamp is definitely not frozen. So I don't know about that big open swamp. Look at. So I have to be very careful, because we're going to end up with a slush trail behind us, so coming out it's going to be worse than going in. That coyote or wolf track, I guess, not gauge. Might have cut that one a little big. See, it's stuff like that we're gonna run into this time of year. Previous cutoffs. perfect. Okay, this is it. This is the open swamp that has water, and it's like a soft, boggy bottom to it. We've gotten stuck out there before, and now I don't have Tom beside me with his machine to come pull me out. So we got to keep moving. Fingers crossed. Wish me luck. Here we go. We did it, Mr. Gage. All right, we did it with relative ease as well. You don't want to have to back up out there, which I just made a little mistake here at the end, but now we're on the far side. Nobody's been in here all summer. Would have been last year at the end of the season, would have been the last ones on this trail. So we're gonna give it a run, see if we have to clean anything out of here, look for tracks, and just get it ready for winter.
Tim Webster.
Hey buddy, do you hear that? Sled's running awesome, idling better than it ever has. Even has last year's fuel in it. So taking it for a quick run. Just wanted to let you know and say thanks. I think that sensor change and the RPM change have done it a world of wonder. We'll talk to you later. Now we're going to see all the wet holes, the wet spots that you don't want to slow down or stop on. These machines are so heavy with so much power, they'll just dig a hole to China before you get out. Hand warmers are on and they're just making me sweat. All right, we're on the home stretch now. Gage knows I always speed up. Okay, I am super impressed with the way the sled is running right now, so that couldn't be a better test. I think we're ready for the winter. Now that being said, guys, that we are using last year's fuel, I do treat all of the fuel that goes in my garage, and that's another pro tip from Gary to you guys. Every tank that you fill, and I have 4 canisters that I fill in there, as soon as you bring it in the garage, stabilize it. Then you don't have to remember when it's in the machine, oh, did I add it to the tank in the machine? It doesn't matter because you stabilized all of it as soon as it was in the garage. And sometimes those canisters will sit in the garage for 2 or 3 months before I get to them anyway. So that's a good tip, is stabilize all of it. Then you're never guessing which machine has treated fuel and which doesn't. And this machine, after lots of research I did when I first got it, guys were saying, don't worry about it. As long as your fuel is treated, you can use it last year. Now, I always do try to run it down to the lower end of the tank usually. Last year, we could only get out 1 day, so that never happened. But what I'll normally do is run it down to like less than a quarter tank, and then I'll fill it with new stuff, even though the old stuff is treated. But this year, we're gonna have to burn that out of there, but it's running great. There's no fuel issues, so. All right, we got some mildew on my seat. And that's actually the best way to get rid of it right there. No hard abrasive cleaners. Take some fresh snow, scrub her down. It'll come right off. Looks like new. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next adventure.